On the 19th of November, Godspawn arrives, the latest patch for Janthir Wilds, and to herald its arrival, the dev team have given us a lovely blog outlining all the new features that will be arriving with the Godspawn patch, as well as what we can expect coming out of the studio for updates for the game up until about January. But before we do, hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Fornax. Pull up a chair, make yourself at home, and if you find anything of merit herein, please feel free to push some buttons below. So let's dive into it. Greetings, Tyrians. It's hard to believe it's already been a few months since Janthir Wilds launched. As we wind down 2024, we'd like to give the community an update about all things Guild Wars 2. Our 5th expansion added one of the most requested features to the game, homesteads, which I approve of wholeheartedly, and it's been wonderful watching the creativity of players as they decorate their homes. I agree, it's been great. You also got to experience the beauty of the lowland shore and survive the dangers of Janthir Sintra with your new allies, the lowland Kodan. With the Kodan's help, you were taught to wield spears and ride the Warclaw like never before. But Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds has just begun, and in 1 week you'll join forces to tackle our first raid in 5 years, craft a new legendary spear, and continue your story with the lowland Kodan. I feel like they're really building the foundation to have these annual releases be a thing that is very sustainable and great for the community. Fingers crossed. But this is the new template going forwards. We get story, we get a raid, we get a new legendary weapon, and of course we've got housing which they can build upon year on year. Let me know what you think below. I know a lot of people are still adjusting to the amount of content that we're getting, but honestly, I'm very hopeful, especially with the 2nd annual expansion. I feel like they've got their feet under the table now and they're rolling forward. But on with the blog post. So, Godspawn, the first of 3 major updates to Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds, is coming on November 19th. 3 new story chapters will continue your adventures against the threat of the Titans. Will you and your allies be able to uncover a path to secure peace for the inhabitants of the Isles of Janthir? In addition to new story chapters, there will also be a new raid and convergence, the new legendary spear called Klobjarne, maybe? Along with a new Wizard's Vault season, relics, weapons, and armor rewards, a mastery update, and new homestead decorations. I will be making a loot guide for Godspawn. I will try to make sure that I don't miss any of the new bits and pieces that are arriving next week. So stay tuned for previews of the new rewards and the Wizard's Vault refresh in our launch day blog. So let's talk about the raids. In next week's update, we'll be introducing our new 10-person raid, which will take you to Mount Balrior. It features 3 bosses and several smaller, varied encounters that will test your coordination and adaptability. At the heart of Mount Balrior's narrative is Griga, the Blightbringer, and Decima, the Stormsinger, the 2 titans you battled in Janthir Sintra. After their defeat, they retreated to Mount Balrior to recover and regroup. This time, they won't be alone. Their raid versions bring back the chaotic, relentless attacks of Griga and the structured, strategic mechanics of Decima, but cranked up to a new level of intensity. Expect familiar moves executed in ways that will keep your group on their toes, along with a few completely new surprises that Griga and Decima have in store. And if you're wondering, I am going to predict that the 3rd boss in this raid will be Ura, who we were introduced to at the end of the story. So what element Ura will wield is anyone's guess. We have Blight with Griga, we have Storm with Decima. Maybe it's going to be a fire-aligned titan, and of course the smaller encounters could be blighted creatures, or it could be something a bit more exotic, maybe from the Forge of Failed Creations, which gave birth to these titans, if they are like all the other titans in the lore. I'm really looking forward to diving in and getting to experience these in a raid. I'm still hoping that someday there will be auto-grouping system for Guild Wars 2 raids to allow people to just have a bit more of a casual experience. I think It's still probably true today that the hardest boss in raiding in Guild Wars 2 is finding a group, unfortunately. Again, great to see raids returning. I hope that we're going to get a new raid with every expansion going forward. I hope that the community embrace raids and show them some love and show the devs some love about it so that we do get that positive feedback loop. Moving on. Embark on the new Convergence in the Lowland Shore. For a different flavour of group content, we are also launching a new Convergence in the Godspawn update. Like the Convergence in Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, up to 50 players can participate in public squads every 3 hours, with private squads available to start anytime. Expect a challenge comparable to the Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure Convergent bosses, with most groups completing it in 20 to 30 minutes. In this journey, Stoic Alder, the Claw of the Lowland Coden, narrates your adventure to young Coden cubs, adding unique story twists with every playthrough. Fans of Griga and Decima will find familiar attacks, but with adaptations that make this event a fresh experience. As our first multi-purpose map, Mount Balrior includes hidden passages and adaptive designs, setting the stage for future rotations of bosses and a challenge mode arriving later next year. Stay tuned as we dive into what's next for both raids and convergences in our upcoming blog later this week. So that blog will probably be arriving on the 19th, and again, more group content, more grand scale group content, I think is great for the community. I just hope that the rewards for this content are compelling enough to keep players coming back week after week. Fingers crossed. Although I do like the fact that there is a public group every 3 hours, so now players can do large scale content every hour and a half in the game, which I think is great. I'm actually very interested to see what they're going to do with this dynamic map. So I'm thinking, as I said, that the third map might be Mount Balrior as an open world map. It's genuinely a very intriguing idea, having hidden locations, having a much more dynamic, much more malleable map. I will give my review of this new map as it lands, but that will be 2025. The next videos coming up on the channel will be the loot guide for Godspawn and my review, my thoughts about the lore, but also gameplay as well. Okay, on to the next section. I have not neglected the World v World section of this blog post. I have, however, put it into its own video, link here. So if you want to dive into the World v World stuff, where I do actually read an additional forum post, but it made the video too long. So link here, enjoy World v World peoples. So, okay, back to the blog post. Guild Wars 2 will be making its debut on the Epic Games Store later this month, and we're thrilled to welcome a new batch of players to the world of Tyria. Guild Wars 2 has been captivating players for the past 12 years, oh my goodness, it's been that long, and we are excited to make Tyria even more accessible to players by partnering with Epic. Keep a lookout on our official platforms for a release date and an epic new Guild Wars trailer. I can't wait for that. I use so many of their pre-made trailers, they're so good. Anyway, moving on, wrapping up 2024. So, while the year may be coming to a close soon, there will be plenty of things coming up for Guild Wars 2. November and December will include more events, a 2-week new hero jumpstart event, a birthday bash for Evan Nashblade, and Winter's Day coming up on December the 10th. Lunar New Year and a second skills and balance update will be coming along near the end of January 2025. Around then, or a little later, we'll be back to talk about the next few months of Guild Wars 2. Here are some dates for our upcoming events to close out the year. So October 29th to November 19th is the Extra Life in-game bonus, which is amazing. If you don't know about Extra Life, it's a children's charity helping kids, offering both treatment and palliative care. So it's a great cause. Wonderful that Guild Wars 2 allies with this charity. It's amazing. November 12th to November 25th is a new Hero Jumpstart event. The 25th to the 2nd of November is Ebon Nashblade's birthday celebration, hopefully bringing some new skins. And December 10th to January 2nd is the Winter's Day event. And finally, as a reminder of what's still to come for Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds in 2025, we have this handy content chart for you. Story at launch, and then we have the first update, which is the one that we're getting, and then 2 more story content updates. Launch, we had the Lowland Shore and Janthir Sintra, and then the 2 releases in 2025 will bring map 3 and 4 into the game. Instant content, so we're getting the Raid Wing and the new Convergence with the update on the 19th, with challenge modes and legendary modes coming in 2025, and a new fractal as well for the last update for Janthir Wilds. The homesteads and its decoration system overhaul, which was for both homesteads and guild halls, and the handiwork crafting system, which is the new furniture system for the homesteads. So they're like complementary features. And then in the update 1 to 3, we'll be getting new decorations for the homestead, along with all the decoration-y bits that we're getting with existing events. For example, with Halloween, we got a plethora of new items to build for our homesteads, which is great. I just hope that they tweak the requirements and materials needed so that they're a bit less arduous to gather. If you'd like my full review of homesteads, link up here. Combat updates as well. So Landspears arrived with Janthir Wilds. 6 Janthir Wilds exclusive relics were also added to the game, and the juvenile Warclaw Ranger pet was introduced. And with updates 1 to 3, it seems like we're getting 6 new relics apiece. So, wow, that's a lot of relics to collect. In terms of masteries with Janthir Wilds, we got masteries for the homesteads, for the Lowland Cauldron, and for the Warclaw. And each new patch will bring updates to those. Will they be expanding them? I'll be interested to see what new features, what new tweaks, what new abilities we will get with the new masteries going forward. And major rewards. So Janthir Wilds introduced 3 new armor sets, 2 new weapon sets, and a Wizard's Vault seasonal refresh, and more bits, which is true. Lots of minis and all sorts of things. The update on the 19th will introduce the Legendary Spear, 1 new weapon set, and a Wizard's Vault refresh, and probably a load of minis as well. And it seems that we will be getting a new armor set and a new weapon set with each update, as well as a new legendary back piece for the final installment of Janthir Wilds, which is 2 new legendaries introduced into the game. That's great. And I hope going forward there'll be more. But that is it for the blog post. Happy adventuring. We'll see you in the game. The Guild Wars 2 team. Thank you so much, guys. Great blog post. Very informative. It's great to see everything laid out very clearly, and the fact that we're getting 2 new additional maps. I wonder how big they'll be. I wonder if we're getting a meta. I'm wondering if map 3 will be an open world version of map balrior. Goodness knows, maybe map 4 will be in the realm of torment, where we go and we try and shut down the Forge of Fell creations so that no new titans can be born. That would be amazing. But yeah, let me know what you've liked about this blog post. Are you happy, sad, what you're looking forward to, what changes you want to see? All the bits and pieces down in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, please do show some love to my wonderful supporters over on Patreon and Subscribestar who keep the lights on here. I would not be able to make as much content as I do without them. I can never thank them all enough. And of course, many thanks to ArenaNet and their partner program, of whom I am a proud affiliate. Using any of the links below directly supports the channel, because you, not a penny more, and for free-to-play accounts, not a penny at all. But sadly, we have come to the end. So until we meet again, please stay safe, stay awesome, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.